Quickly moving on to the last session. India's culture of gallantry, Veer Gatha. That's the session we have now.
Good evening to the audience who have been so patient and actually sat for the last session. So thank you so much. Unlike most of the sessions that have happened so far, we don't really have the proper panel discussion as most of them. I am from Amar Chitra Katha. आपने से किस किस ने अमर चित्र कथा का नाम सुना है? Thank you so much. Anyone else? Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Oh, there one more. May I please request you all to just move a little this side, especially the kids, because this is a fun session for them. And may I request all of you to stand up? Everyone, whoever is sitting, please. All of you, please stand up. Yeah, please stand up. Okay, I have a question. First, raise your hand. Right hand. Right hand. Right hand. Okay. I want all of you to tell me, how high do you always want to see India's flag fly? How high? How high? How high? Whoa, I love that one. That's the best. Awesome. Please give a big round of applause for the little kid. Thank you. Okay. Now, the second thing I want to say, if you have something fallen down, what do you do to pick up? Go, do that. Pick up whatever is fallen down. Okay, well, there's nothing, but I hope that gave a good stretch to your back. You've been sitting for a while. Please sit down, please come ahead, please come forward, anyone who can possibly come. It's going to be an interactive session. I would really hope for you all to just give any kind of answer that you have, right, wrong, doesn't matter. So with that, I just want to say, for those of you who don't know Amar Chitra Katha, I'll speak in English. I hope that's fine. So, Amar Chitra Katha का नाम जिन्होंने भी नहीं सुना है, Amar Chitra Katha is a comic publication house. Okay, हम पूरे भारत की कहानियाँ कॉमिक के माध्यम से या चित्र कथा के माध्यम से लोगों को बताए आ रहे हैं. It's been, can anybody guess how many years for those of you who know Amar Chitra Katha? Around 100? Okay. We will reach that mark soon, but not yet there. Any guesses? Random guesses. 75? Okay, little lower. 50, very close, ma'am. We've been around for 56 years, and we have more than 500 titles in our catalog. Okay, and today, when we are talking about, Indian military heritage, I think for that, military heritage के बारे में बताने के लिए हमारे soldiers, हमारे officers, Lieutenant Colonel Dilbag sir भी है यहाँ पर, उनसे बेहतर और कौन बता सकता है stories. So today what I want to talk about is a little different from the usual stories. I'm going to talk a little about war strategies of India. And उनमें से एक warrior की कहानी बताने वाली हूँ. Okay, so if we have the present, not this one, the other one please. This will be afterwards. Yeah. So, इसके पहले एक छोटा सा, so अमर चित्र कथा के बारे में जिसको नहीं पता, हम जहाँ भी जाते हैं, वहाँ पर कहानियाँ तो कहते ही हैं, but apart from that, we always have some fun quiz, okay? So irrespective of you know the topic or no, I would definitely request all of you to just barge in and just tell your answers, okay? Whatever you think is the right answer. So, and it is downloaded, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So there we go, officially starting the presentation. I am an author. I am a storyteller. I conduct story writing, story creation, creative writing workshops. I look at the business side of Amar Chitra Katha through licensing. But in सबको अगर एक nutshell में बोलना हो, तो ये कहूँगी कि मैं एक कहानी खोर हूँ. हम में से किस-किस को कहानी पसंद है? Everybody, I guess, of course, yes. सुबह से लेकर शाम तक हम कहानियाँ कहते ही रहते हैं किसी ना किसी को, नहीं? हमारे दोस्तों को आज ये हो गया, कल वो हो गया, इसके साथ झगड़ा हो गया, आज मम्मी ने खाना ऐसा बनाया. So at the end of the day, we are all storytellers. And today, what I'm going to do is tell you a small little story of a wonderful warrior. But before that, like I said, there's going to be a fun little quiz. So can you please, the next slide. Okay, so the quiz that goes on is all on Indian Defense Forces. So I'm sure you all would be knowing that. Next. Okay, the first question is here. Can anybody answer the first question, which is when is the Vijay Divas celebrated in India to commemorate India's victory over Pakistan in 1971 war? November, December, January or March? December? सर आप नहीं बोल सकते सर ये क्या है ऐसे थोड़ी चलेगा ओके सो द आंसर इज डिसम्बर कैन वी प्लीज मूव टू द नेक्स्ट वन इट इज डिसम्बर इट वाज द बांग्लादेश लिबरेशन वॉर एंड कुछ समय पहले उसका ही एक सेशन हो रहा था यहाँ पे आई डोंट नो हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू अटेंडेड इट बट इट वाज अ वंडरफुल सेशन ओके द नेक्स्ट वन okay INS Chilka where the first batch of Agniveers passed out is based in which state Odisha everybody yes I like the confidence. Of course, it can't be wrong. It is Odisha. And it was the first batch where there were more than 2,000, it was more than 2,500 Agniveers, of which 272 were women. Okay, next. How many commands are there in the Indian Air Force? Come on, I think sabko pata hoga, right? 9? 6, 7, 8, 9? No? 7? Somebody shouted 7 from back. Who's that? Cameraman? Okay. So someone said 7, and definitely, yes, the answer is 7. So it's Western, Eastern, Central, Southern, Southwestern Training and Maintenance Command. There is a fun story about why there is no Northern Command. Kisi ko question aaya kya? Ye dekhte hue? No? Okay, I'll leave that for later. Let's move to the next one. Siachen Day is observed by Indian Army every year to commemorate which of these operations? Any guesses? Meghdoot? Meghdoot? Did you see? Okay. Yes, you're right. It is Operation Meghdoot. And next slide, please. It is Operation Meghdoot. And the reason was because we wanted to have our hold over Siachen Glacier, which is a very strategic point in terms of war. Okay. Where is the Indian Navy's first training squad based at? It's an easy one. That side, please. Somebody from that side. No? Kids, can you take a guess? Visakhapatnam. I love that confidence, my child. Please keep that confidence alive in you everywhere, okay? But the answer is Kochi, okay? Kochi is where the first training squadron is located. Okay, the next one. This is the last one. So which animal is the name of the #1 squadron of the Indian Air Force? Hawks, eagles, tigers, lions. What is it? Hawks? Sir has given the hint. What is it? Tigers or lions? Come on, it's a simple one. Take an easy guess. He just did. Oh. Guess? Nothing? Random guess? Okay, it's the tigers. All right, so they are a multi-role, they operate at a multi-role and in air superiority and electronics. All right, with that, I move to the next part, which is the War Strategies and Gallantry Awards. So when I talk about war strategies, I want to talk not just about the military, क्योंकि हम military के tactics, military के warfares हम सब जानते हैं. You know, there are so many things that go into it. Let me just go back to what, how Indian war strategies were. So let's move to the next one and the first one. Okay. कोई बता सकता है शिवाजी कौन से warfare use करते थे, especially the kids there? Any idea? What is the warfare? It starts with the letter G. Guerrilla warfare, exactly. So guerrilla warfare and guerrilla tactics where you do quick and swift movements and, give the enemy defeat through that. That is something that Shivaji used to use. And he defeated the Mughals with that tactic. Moving to the next one. Chanakya. Any idea what was Chanakya's strategy? Okay, what was his book? Arthashastra. Can somebody tell me what is Arthashastra? What is the book about? So usually his book Arthashastra is used by a lot of management or management institutes to know about how to be politically correct. Political treatise is what this book contains. But in his political book, you get a glimpses of what kind of a war strategist he was. And if I had to say, he was not the one who would say, "Halla bol." He was someone who used his intelligence in such a way that the enemy would never know what his next move is. So much so that, sometimes he would just very surprisingly attack. Sometimes he would evoke the enemy to fight with them so that they would come, but these guys were already prepared with something big and something larger. Okay? So that is his war strategy. That was how he, did different kinds of war strategies. Can somebody guess who's this? A movie was made on this one. When I say movie, I see a lot of answers coming up. Ajay Devgan starred in it. Thank you so much. See the impact? Okay. So that's Tanaji. Tanaji was the movie. And in this, particularly this picture, you know why it is so important? Because here there was no war strategy as such. But at that point, when it was a steep slope, the mountain ekdam steep tha, and everyone was slipping down, what he did, does anybody know kiske sahare se wo upar chade the? That steep wall. Anybody? It's a lizard. It's a monitor lizard or an iguana. Some stories say it as iguana and some say monitor lizard. So he threw Yashwanti, which was the iguana, he threw her up and tied a rope to her tail, and then they all climbed up. That is the history that goes behind it. Next, please. Does anybody know this one? She's Rani Abakka from the south. And she's the one who single-handedly drove off the Portuguese off the city of Ullal. And her war strategies were so incredible because she was not the one to fight, go low. She was a fierce, fierce queen who everybody feared. And so much so that even when the Britishers said that you cannot step on our land, she took the entire army and took them right on the top of the fort and captured the fort. She was that fierce. Next. No guesses? Who's she? Rani Lakshmibai, Rani of Jhansi. Anybody know her story? Okay, anybody who roughly know her story? Hands up, please. Roughly? Roughly? Nobody? Everybody knows, right? Everybody knows. I like that confidence, sir. Thank you. Now, let me ask you some question with the next picture. Does anybody know her? The one with the turban there. Her name is Jhalkari Bai, but I'm sure not many of you know about her. She, kya thi? Arey wah, kya baat hai, sir. I'm so proud of you. You are the only one who knows about it, and please give a big round of applause to the gentleman. Thank you so much, sir. That's very true. And unki kahani mein aaj aapko pesh karne ja rahi hu, which is Jhalkari Bai. Jhalkari Bai was from the regiment of Rani Lakshmi Bai, but almost nobody knows about her story. Jhalkari Bai was born in this small little village called Bhojla. Okay, and next slide, please. In Bhojla, so this what you can see are snippets from our book, which is Valiant Women. It has stories of 7 different women, the center one being Jhalkari Bai. And these are just snippets from that. But I'll tell you the whole story, which is she was born in this small village near Jhansi. It was called Bhojla. And when she was born, her parents were so overjoyed, so happy. She was the only child of her parents. And then, she would run around all day. She would play. She would go out. Yahan se wahan bhagti rehti. Her mother was a little upset because every time she bought her jewelry, she bought her bangles, she bought her jhumka, she would say, "Mama, I don't want this. Mujhe nahi chahiye. Main khelti hu na to ye sab nadte hain, yahan wahan nadte hain." And then her dad said, "Let the child be, let her play, let her go out." Okay? And that's how she was raised and born, fierce and independent. Okay? She was so fierce and independent that a lot of people, like even her friends, would fear her in that sense. Unfortunately, her mother died when she was very young. And that's when all the responsibility of the household came on her. And she got into, the chores, cooking, cleaning. But that was not acceptable by her dad. He said, nothing doing, I'm going to definitely train you into a lot of skills. So he bought her a bow and an arch. He trained her in archery, he trained her in swords, and, a lathi charge and all of those things. So much so that one day she actually defeated her dad also. She was like, ha, I won. And that's the day when they made some nice, yummy laddus and celebrated at home. Okay. After that, no, yeah. There was, when she was 12, she was attacked by a wolf. Has anybody faced a snake or a python or something in life? Yes? Yeah. Wow, okay, we have brave souls here. Okay, but she was faced by a wolf, okay? And a wolf literally attacked her when she was 12. That's when she was going to cut woods in the forest. She threw the axe at the wolf, but the axe fell somewhere else. It missed the mark. And that's when she fought the wolf bare hands, with bare hands. And the story of her bravery spread like fire in that small little village. And everyone started looking up to her. She would also fight the cats and, all the chor, chakke, sabke saath wo, ekdam dat ke khadi rehti. One day, Puran Kori, who was a part of Rani Lakshmibai's regiment, he got to know about her story and he said, Mother, I would really like to meet this girl and ask her hand for marriage, So he went and her father approved, she approved, and they got married. And after that, they shared a lot of common interests, ghod savari ho gaya, ya fir, archery, swords, lathi charge, all of that, He said one day that, Kal Shivratri hai, let me just go and, let us go and meet Rani Lakshmibai. Okay, everyone will be there. They all said, okay. And then they went to meet her. Next slide, please. When she went there and met Rani Lakshmibai, she was stunned. She was looking at her and she said, wow, what an uncanny resemblance we share. Same physical features, same complexion, same structure, same everything. She was a doppelganger. Okay, she actually looked very much like Rani Lakshmibai. And, that's when their bond started. That bond just tightened. They shared a lovely bond. And she said, Jhalkari, I really feel a very good bond towards you. I feel like I can trust you. I'm going to start a women's army soon, and I want you to be a part of it. She said, of course, Rani Lakshmibai, I would definitely love to be a part of it. She got trained in everything, including using guns and other warfares that were there. Suddenly, there was, not suddenly, but actually gradually, there was the first war of Indian independence. Can someone tell me the year of it? 1857, yes. So 1857 was the year when the first war of independence started, and that is when there were a lot of mutinies who were around. They were revolting the British, they were, telling them to get out of it. And where it was the most was in Jhansi. Jhansi mein sabse zyada mutinies the. And when they came, they actually attacked Jhansi first. Okay, there was General Hugh Rose, who was responsible for, may I please request someone to look for the fan or the AC because I see the audience being restless. Sorry for the interruption. Can someone please check for AC or fan? Thank you. Okay, so Britishers came and attacked Jhansi, and that's when Rani Lakshmibai was fighting with them. Unfortunately, even though they were very brave in fighting, they were outnumbered. The Britishers came in huge army, and the Jhansi army was very small, so they had to retreat. When they retreated, Rani Lakshmibai got restless. She said, you know what? This is insane. We really need help. So she asked help from Tatya Top. And at that point, even Tatya Top was defeated by the British. So that's when Jhalkari Bai came to the rescue. She said, may I suggest something? She said, of course. What is it? She said, we look so alike. Can I go instead of you to fight the battle while you leave from the back of the palace? She was stunned. She was like, that's a big sacrifice, Jhalkari Bai. And she said, no, but I think that is the best solution because if you go to a safer place, you will be able to come back and capture Jhansi. So I need to be there. And that was the plan that they used. That was the strategy that they used at that point. So not all strategies need weapons or some kind of plotting and planning. This was something that came from a place of sacrifice and love for the nation. And that's exactly what happened. You know, she went ahead and Rani Lakshmibai left from the other side of the palace. Next slide, please. And when she fought, she literally fooled the British for one full day. Nobody recognized that it's her until it was late. And Hugh Rowe said that she is not Lakshmi Bai. She is someone else, you know, just capture her. They captured her, they took her away. And when they took her away, someone told her that, Hugh told her that आपके ही आर्मी में से किसी ने हमें information pass की थी. And she said, I don't care who did that. They will bear the fruits of it. I am willing to die for my queen. You know? And she stood so fierce that Hugh Rose was like, अगर इन पूरे आर्मी में अगर 1% भी औरतें इनकी तरह का जुनून है इनमें, then we will have to abandon and go. And that's exactly what he was afraid of. So he said, just take her, capture her, put her somewhere. We don't want her to move out. But guess what? The very next night, she ran away. She ran away and she was on the battlefield fighting the next day. And she was fighting so fiercely. Next slide, please. She was fighting so fiercely that everyone was afraid of her. They killed her husband. When her husband died, her response was, this, in fact, encourages me to fight the battle even more fiercely. I'll not let his sacrifice go in vain. And she fought with double the vigor. And when she started fighting that fiercely, the fear in the army, in the British army, spread so much that they all ganged up against her. There were rains of bullets passing on to her, and with that, that is how she passed away. Her story remained untold until 1960s when the historians actually, you know, got into the research and found out about her. Which is why ऐसी बहुत सारी कहानियाँ हैं जो हमें पता नहीं है, जिनके वजह से sacrifices इतने हुए हैं, जो war strategies उस तरह के नहीं है जो हमको दिखाई देते हैं. And we definitely need those stories to be told. We definitely need the next generation of children to know these kind of stories. And that's what we do through Amar Chitra Katha. We bring you to the root, to your roots, through comics. Okay, so with that, I would just move to the second last slide, which is, she was, you know, government removed a stamp in her name a few years ago, and there is one beautiful poem that, you know, keeps her forever in the memories of us, which is, मचा झांसी में घमासान चहु और मची किलकारी थी, अंग्रेजों से लोहा लेने रण में कूदी झलकारी थी. Okay. Thank you so much. With that, I will hand over the mic to Sir, which is the next part of the thing, which is Paramveer Chakra, a gallantry award, which is the ultimate honor that any soldier can get for his bravery. And I think nobody better than Lieutenant Colonel Dilbag Singh to take this forward. Sir, I would like to begin this by saying Sher Shah.
You must have heard Komal just said that the stories of braves and the bravery must be read by the generation. I agree with her. But then, see how much young generation is here. The stories, the generation must be here. How many are here? Seeing almost empty auditoriums speaks volumes. How much we want to know about the brave and their bravery. Many laid down their lives. I thought some more audience would be there, mainly the young ones.
A little closer.
Mainly the young ones. But anyway, I'm happy at least some are here. If they like my story, and mine are not stories, they're actual happenings. What happened in the war? I took part in the war. I was commissioned in March 71. I have my course mate sitting in front of me, Chabra sir, you're together in the war, 71 war. And when I faced the first bullet, I was just 20 years and 20 days. पहले बता रहे थे पिछले सेशन में कि क्या आपको डर लगता है? यस, सबको डर लगता है, मुझे भी लगा था, लेकिन जब पहली गोली यहां से निकल गई, डर खत्म। कि अगर गोली मेरे लिए होती तो मेरे को लगती यहां से क्यों चली गई? एंड दैट वाज द लास्ट मोमेंट ऑफ माय बीइंग डरपोक। डरपोक इज नॉट अ गुड वर्ड, बट डर सबको लगता है। आफ्टर रिटायरमेंट आई हैव बीन राइटिंग about the Gallantry Award winners. There are a total of 3,440 Chakra Award winners. सब के बारे में लिखूँ एक किताब में तो इतनी मोटी किताब हो जाएगी. So I'm covering all these awardees state-wise. Of course, the awardees in all the books belong to all arms and services. I've written 3 books. Like they say, behind every successful man, there is a woman. For a Fauji, I will slightly alter it. For a Fauji, to inspire a Fauji, also there is a woman, be it his sister, his mother, or his wife. So to write these books, I was also inspired by a woman, and that woman is standing there, my wife. And she has, for the last 5 years, she has been my constant sounding board. Likho, likho. And I've been writing and writing. I will, in the next half an hour or so, I'll speak about the Indian soldier, his bravery, his gallantry. This is what Indian soldier is. My packs are full and ready. My rifle is oiled and loaded. As I walk the road of death, I fear no one. I am an Indian soldier born to fight. Sleep peacefully in your homes, dear countrymen. We are guarding the borders. And yes, that is what the real definition of an Indian soldier is. When a soldier goes to the war, he takes the greatest risk. He fights his best. He doesn't expect anything. But as a nation, we must acknowledge, recognize his bravery, and he should be awarded accordingly. So, Indian government India has initiated the Gallantry Awards. There are 2 types of Gallantry Awards. These are Paramveer Chakra, Mahavir Chakra. They are during war, and the other are during peacetime. Like what is happening in Kashmir. There's no war. Nothing is declared. But still people are dying. Soldiers are performing their best, giving their lives. So they also need to be awarded. So these types of awards are given to the soldiers who fight not during war, but such situations like in Kashmir. Komal said Sher Shah. Does anyone know? I'm sure. Who was Sher Shah? And the first name comes the person who built the Mughal invader who built the Grand Trunk Road from Calcutta to Lahore. He was Sher Shah Suri. But no. What we are concerned about is our Sher Shah. Tigers ka tiger. And who was he? Captain Vikram Batra. You must have heard a lot about him, about his anecdotes. But I'll tell you 2-3 instances what he meant. And what was he? Why was he called Sher Shah? A student of Kendriya Vidyalaya, Palampur, a graduate of DAV College, Chandigarh, joins IMA, commissioned Jack Rifles, and within 1.5 years, he's there during the Kargil War. He's the only one in the Indian Army probably who fought 2 consecutive most difficult battles. The second took his life. And you must have heard something called, ये सुना है आपने? We all young generations know about it. But you know what is background behind this name? ये दिल मांगे मोर. मोर मतलब वो नाचने वाला मोर नहीं, ज्यादा मोर, और भी. So when he was going for second attack, like when we go for attack, after the attack is successful, we sent code words on the wireless to the commanding officer, ke attack successful. And he said, ke sir, I will send the code word, ye dil mange more. This commanding officer said, ke why? Why this? And the answer, you'll be happy to know what he answered. He says, ke sir, ye dil mange more. मैंने पिछले अटैक में भी कई दुश्मन के बंकर उड़ाए थे और इसमें भी मैं और भी बंकर बर्बाद करना चाहता हूं दुश्मन के, इसीलिए मोर, तो ये दिल मांगे मोर. दैट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ ये दिल मांगे मोर. This thing, 2 days before the attack, when he went for the feature called 4875, 2 days before the attack, his friend called up on the telephone. And he says, Vicky, he was known as Vicky among his friends. He says, Vicky, यार मेरी बर्थडे पार्टी है, तू आ रहा है ना? And this is what he replied. मैं आऊंगा, पक्का आऊंगा, या तो दुश्मन की पोस्ट पर तिरंगा फहरा के या तिरंगे में लिपट के, लेकिन मेरे दोस्त तेरी बर्थडे पार्टी में आऊंगा जरूर. एंड आई हैव मेट दिस पर्सन. विक्रम बत्रा का जो फ्रेंड है जिसने फोन किया था, आई मेट हिम. ही लिव्स इन चंडीगढ़. सो आई डोंट सेंशलाइज माई राइटिंग, आई राइट द रियल थिंग, एंड दैट्स व्हाट यू विल फाइंड इन ऑल दीज बुक्स. मनोज पांडे नाम से आपको क्या कुछ याद आता है? जोर से बोलिए. मंगल पांडे, जिन्होंने प्रथम स्वतंत्रता संग्राम की आजादी का बिगुल बजाया था. मेरठ से शुरू हुई थी वो संग्राम, मंगल पांडे. और कारगिल की लड़ाई में भी एक पांडे था जिसने उस चौकी पे कब्जा किया, अपनी जान दे दी, शहीद हो गया. उस पे कब्जा किया जिस पे पहले कई अटैक फेल हो गए थे. ही वॉज मनोज पांडे. सैनिक स्कूल लखनऊ का पढ़ा हुआ. जब ये एनडीए के लिए एसएसबी बोर्ड में गया सिलेक्शन के लिए, तो इससे सवाल किया गया कि तुम फौज क्यों ज्वाइन करना चाहते हो? तो नॉर्मल जवाब क्या होता है? आई वॉन्ट टू सर्व द कंट्री, इट्स एडवेंचरस लाइफ, एंड आई लाइक गुड यूनिफॉर्म, एंड आई लव माई नेशन, माई मदरलैंड. ये तो ठीक है. ही गेव वन आंसर. उसने कहा कि सर मैं परमवीर चक्र जीतना चाहता हूं. उसके बाद दूसरा सवाल किसी ने पूछा ही नहीं उससे, लेकिन उस जवान का पक्का, उसने परमवीर चक्र जीता. और शहीद हो गया. जब उसका पार्थिव शरीर और उसका सामान जब वापस उनके घर पर पहुंचाया गया, उसके बक्से को खोला तो उसमें एक डायरी मिली. मनोज पांडे स्कूल के दिनों से ही डेली डायरी लिखता था और उसकी डायरी में एक एंट्री मिली, उसको पढ़ के तो आप सबकी छाती चौड़ी हो जानी चाहिए। अटैक में जब गया 2 दिन पहले उसने अपनी डायरी में ये लिखा था कि सम गोल्स आर सो वर्दी, इट्स ग्लोरियस इवन टू फेल। सो व्हेन यू अटैक, व्हेन यू गो फॉर द बिग फाइट, वो सक्सेस वाली बात नहीं है। अरे आप दिल से फाइट करोगे, डिटर्मिनेशन से फाइट करोगे तो जीत तो आ जाएगी। बट फर्स्ट थिंग इज अटेम्प्ट, कोशिश तो करना जरूरी है ना, जीत तो कोशिश के बाद ही आएगी। दिस इज व्हाट मनोज पांडे वाज। अरुण खेत्रपाल, द बॉय फ्रॉम दिल्ली, the only Paramveer Chakra awardee from Delhi. His father was an army, his grandfather was an army, and both had earned the gallantry awards. Lekin Arun Khetrapal surpassed his father and his grandfather and won the Paramveer Chakra, the highest gallantry award in the Indian military. He studied wherever his father was posted. He did his +2 from Lawrence School, Snawar, went to NDA, IMA, got commissioned in Armored Corps. और जब ये लड़ाई के लिए गए, he was just about 20 years something, that's all. He had not even done the course, mandatory course. और जब वो जा रहे थे तो उनकी माँ उनको नई दिल्ली रेलवे स्टेशन पे रिसीव करने गई, और रिसीव करते समय उसकी माँ ने क्या कहा, नहीं अभी नहीं, क्या कहा वो आपको बाद में बताऊंगा मैं। लड़ाई के दौरान वो पहला एक जगह शक्करगढ़, वहाँ बहुत तगड़े एंटी टैंक वर्सेस टैंक बैटल हुए थे। वन ऑफ द फियरेस्ट, सबसे मोस्ट डिफिकल्ट टैंक वर्सेस टैंक बैटल वाज fought by Arun Khetrapal and he was just second lieutenant. जो आगे उनके एक स्क्वाड्रन का टैंक था, वहाँ से खबर आई कि भी दुश्मन के टैंक ज़्यादा आगे हैं तो प्लीज़ आगे मदद भेजो। विदाउट टेकिंग परमिशन फ्रॉम एनीबडी, अरुण खेत्रपाल अपने तीनों टैंक लेके आगे गया, जाति दुश्मन का एक टैंक बर्बाद किया, एक और किया, 3 बर्बाद किए टैंक। ये पहला मौका था कि विद इन 10 मिनट्स 3 टैंक बर्बाद हो रहे हैं, एंड इट्स ऑल ट्रू, इट इज डॉक्यूमेंटेड एवरीवेयर। और उसके बाद में सुनना, ये बात आपको बड़ी, आपको गर्व होगा ये बात सुन के, तीसरे टैंक के बाद उसके टैंक पे दुश्मन के गोला लगा और इसका टैंक धंस गया, न आगे जा सकता है न पीछे आ सकता है। तो पीछे से उसके कमांडर ने बोला कि तुम टैंक को छोड़ दो, तुम आ जाओ वापस। और ये सुन के अरुण खेत्रपाल को अपनी मां के वो शब्द याद आए, जब अरुण खेत्रपाल की मां उसको सी ऑफ कर रही थी स्टेशन पर नई दिल्ली। उसने कहा था कि योर ग्रैंडफादर वॉज ए ब्रेव सोल्जर, सो वॉज योर फादर, गो फाइट लाइक ए लायन टिल द एंड। और टैंक उनका धंस गया था, वो एंड नहीं आया था। तो जब उसको बोला गया कि तुम वापस आ जाओ, उसने क्या जवाब दिया, आपने स्क्वाड्रन कमांडर को, नो सर, आई विल नॉट अबेंडन माई टैंक, मैं अपने टैंक को नहीं छोड़ूंगा। माई टैंक, माई गन इज स्टिल वर्किंग, स्टिल फायरिंग, एंड द बास्टर्ड्स आर विद इन रेंज। ये सब लैंग्वेज चलती है। अभी दुश्मन को आप प्रिय थोड़े बोलोगे, तो ऐसे वैसे शब्द दुश्मन के लिए आ जाते हैं। दैट वॉज अरुण खेत्रपाल। एल्बर्ट एक्का, परमवीर चक्र, झारखंड का एक आदिवासी क्रिश्चियन, Paramveer Chakra. He was like all tribals, he was a good hunter. And he used to hunt normal, small, छोटे मोटे शिकार करते थे. लेकिन उसकी किस्मत में लिखा था कि इतना बड़ा शिकार करेगा दुश्मन का कि वो परमवीर चक्र प्राप्त होगा. और उसने उसकी बहादुरी को देख के उसको परमवीर चक्र दिया गया. ये था अल्बर्ट एक्का. योगेंद्र यादव, आपने बड़ा नाम सुना होगा टाइगर हिल का. टाइगर हिल, टाइगर हिल, टाइगर हिल. एंड यस, इट वॉज टाइगर हिल. टाइगर हिल वो क्यों थी कि वो इतनी स्टीप थी कि उस पर अभी ऑलमोस्ट 80 डिग्री का ग्रेडियंट है, तो उसको तकरीबन ऐसे चढ़ना पड़ेगा. ऊपर दुश्मन है ये, उस पर चढ़ना, रात के समय अटैक करना, चांदनी रात हो और ऊपर दुश्मन हो, और ऐसे 15,000 फुट की ऊंचाई पर जहां सांस भी अच्छी तरह नहीं आती, वहां पे भी अटैक किया है. और अटैक को लीड किसने किया? योगेंद्र यादव ने. जब ये कारगिल लड़ाई छिड़ी, ये छुट्टी पे थे, इनकी शादी को 15 दिन हुए थे, बुलावा आया और ये शेर चल दिया. ही लेड द अटैक एंड इतना फाइनल जब अटैक में ये 7 आदमी गए थे, आखिर में सिर्फ 2 बच गए थे, बाकी सारे मारे गए थे. ये अकेला, ये और इसका साथी भी गिर गया. ये अकेला, पाँव में गोली लग गई है, हाथ पे मशीन गन बर्स्ट लग गया है, हाथ ऐसे हिल रहा है. उसने बेल्ट खोली, हाथ को जैसे प्लास्टर लगाते हैं हाथ पे, वो लगाया, एक हाथ से आगे बढ़ा, क्रॉल करता गया. ही वेंट टू द बंकर, फाइनल बंकर, और वहाँ जाके उसमें ग्रेनेड डाला और उसके बाद में ये गिर गया, बेहोश हो गया. पीछे उसके साथी थे, उनको जोश आया, अरे हमारा एक साथी इतना कुछ बहादुरी है. वो आगे बढ़े, एंड टाइगर को कैप्चर किया. वो था योगेंद्र यादव, जिनको आप रोज हर साल 26 जनवरी को आप देखते हैं, जो सबसे आगे परेड में जीप के साथ वो चलते हैं. वो है हमारे, उनमें से एक हैं योगेंद्र यादव. निर्मलजीत सेखों, आप सोच के देखिए, लड़ाई के दौरान एक फाइटर पायलट 4 दुश्मन के फाइटर पायलट से मुकाबला करता है. इट लुक्स अनबिलीवेबल, बट कुछ ऐसे हैं जो अनबिलीवेबल को बिलीवेबल कर देते हैं. 71 की लड़ाई में श्रीनगर एयरफील्ड पे 2 ही एयरक्राफ्ट थे और 2 ही पायलट थे. दुश्मन के 4 आए सैबर्स, और सैबर एयरक्राफ्ट हमारे मिग से ज़्यादा पावरफुल होता है. आए, 2 ने बम डाला. ये दोनों पायलट थे, दोनों सिख थे, सेखों एंड गुम्मन. इमीडिएटली ये दौड़ के गए एयरक्राफ्ट के पास, पर जब तक एयरक्राफ्ट के पास पहुंचे वो बम डाल के जा चुके थे. दोनों ने उनका पीछा किया. थोड़ी देर बाद में इतने बहुत बादल थे, धुंध बहुत थी, गुम्मन रास्ता भूल गया एंड वापस आ गया. निर्मलजीत सेखों 2 के पीछे पड़ा रहा, और इतने में देखता है कि जो बाकी वो 2 बम डाल के गए थे, वो भी पीछे से आके उसको चेज कर रहे हैं. मतलब इसके 2 एयरक्राफ्ट दुश्मन के जिसको चेज कर रहा है उसके आगे हैं, और 2 इसको चेज कर रहे हैं पीछे से. इसके बावजूद भी इस जांबाज ने दुश्मन का एक हवाई जहाज को मार गिराया. और जो पीछे इसके पीछे लगे हुए थे 2, उन्होंने इतनी गोलियां फायर की, तकरीबन उसकी पूरा एयरक्राफ्ट में इतनी गोलियां लगी हुई थी कि बाद में लोग सोचते हैं इसने यार कैसे उड़ा लिया इतनी गोलियां लगने के बाद में. दुश्मन का हवाई जहाज गिराया, और जब दुश्मन के हवाई जहाज पाकिस्तान बॉर्डर अंदर घुस गए, ही केम व्हेन ही वाज कमिंग बैक. जब 3 किलोमीटर पहले शॉर्ट था श्रीनगर से, इसका एयरक्राफ्ट क्रैश हो गया. इतने लो लेवल से क्रैश हुआ कि वो पैराशूट से इजेक्ट भी नहीं कर पाया. एंड ही डाइड. एंड ही डाइड एट द सेम प्लेस कॉल्ड बदगाम, जहाँ पे इंडिया का पहला परमवीर चक्र मेजर सोमनाथ शर्मा को मिला था, एंड दैट वाज आल्सो इन 1947 इन बदगांव, वो प्लेस थी। एंड सो दिस वाज निर्मलजीत शेखर। बाना सिंह, अब सोचिए 21,000 फीट जहां आप चलेंगे तो सांस नहीं आती, ऑक्सीजन है ही नहीं वहां। उधर एक पोस्ट है, उस पर दुश्मन है, उसको कैप्चर करना है, क्योंकि आपने सुना था कि सबसे हाईएस्ट बैटलफील्ड इन द वर्ल्ड इज सियाचिन ग्लेशियर। सियाचिन ग्लेशियर पे ये पोस्ट है पाकिस्तान की, और इस पोस्ट को जब कब्जा नहीं करोगे तो पाकिस्तान आपको वहां रहने नहीं देगा, क्योंकि सबसे ऊंची पोस्ट उधर ही है। और इसको कैप्चर करने के लिए आपने बर्फ ऊपर चढ़ना है, बर्फ को खोद खोद के सीढ़ियां बनानी है, फिर जाना ऊपर, दुश्मन फायर कर रहा है। एंड दैट्स हाउ बाना सिंह और उसके साथ 4 आदमी गए हैं और उस पोस्ट को कैप्चर किया। वर्ल्ड की प्रेस ये बोली कि इतनी ऊंची ऊंचाई पर सब कुछ बर्फ बर्फीली पे एक जवान कैसे दूसरे जवान के साथ फाइट कर सकता है और जीत सकता है। पूरा वर्ल्ड अचंभे में पड़ा था। लेकिन भारतीय सोल्जर कुछ भी कर सकता है, उसलिए न तो को दुश्मन की फायरिंग की परवाह है, न उसको सांस लेने की परवाह है। उसको तो ये है कि भी देखो, जब मैं वापस जाऊंगा मेरी पलटन वाले क्या कहेंगे मेरे बारे में, जब मैं गांव जाऊंगा मेरे गांव वाले क्या कहेंगे। एंड दैट्स इनफ टू इंस्पायर। देश के लिए सब, हर एक जवान फाइटिंग करता है, अच्छी तरह लड़ता है, लेकिन उसका सबसे पहला उसकी प्रेरणा क्या होती है? उसकी बहन या उसकी माँ या उसकी बीवी, उसकी पलटन, उसकी बरादरी के लोग। देश तो है ही भाई वो। दैट वाज बाना सिंह। मैंने 3 किताबें लिखी हैं, ये मेरी किताबें हैं, उनमें से एक एक रखी है। नीचे स्टॉल है, वहाँ पे ऑक्सफोर्ड बुक स्टॉल में ये मेरी किताब रखी हुई हैं। मिलिट्री हीरोज ऑफ दिल्ली, ऑफ हरियाणा, ऑफ हिमाचल प्रदेश, लेकिन इसमें ऑल आर्म सर्विसेज के अवार्डी हैं। जब मैंने हरियाणा की पहले लिखी तो मेरे पास रिक्वेस्ट आई दिल्ली से कि आप हमारे बारे में, दिल्ली के बारे में लिखिए। मैंने कहा भी दिल्ली के बारे में लिखना बड़ा मुश्किल है, क्योंकि दिल्ली या तो सबकी है और या फिर किसी की नहीं है। पर मैंने कहा लिखूंगा मैं, क्योंकि मैंने हंसराज कॉलेज दिल्ली से बीएससी पढ़ी है। मैंने कहा मैं लिखूंगा मैं। And I wrote this book. Then I got a request from Himachal Pradesh. I wrote that book. And now, again on popular request, my fourth book on J&K awardees is almost complete. And the 5th one will be also out by next year. And that book is a very, very different kind of book that is about Victoria Cross awardees of India. हम लोग इंडिपेंडेंस के बाद के अवार्ड्स को बहुत अहमियत देते हैं, लेकिन हम भूल जाते हैं कि इन्हीं भारतीय सोल्जर ने 45 से कम 1947 से पहले भी वर्ल्ड वॉर में बहुत बहादुरी दिखाई थी और जिनको विक्टोरिया क्रॉस मिला था। एंड दैट विल द फर्स्ट बुक इन इंडिया ऑन विक्टोरिया क्रॉस अवार्डीज। रीडरशिप मिले नहीं मिले, आई डोंट बॉदर, बिकॉज इन वन ऑफ द वर्ल्ड वॉर्स माई ग्रैंडफादर fought and died. So my first book of Haryana I have dedicated to my grandfather. ये मैंने तीर मारे हैं, देखिए आप ये। So anyone interested? अब ऑडियंस को देखते हुए तो ऑडियंस कम है, काफी कम है, लेकिन मोस्ट डेडिकेटेड ऑडियंस भी बहुत नहीं होते हैं। अच्छे फ्रेंड बहुत नहीं होते हैं, सही फ्रेंड कम ही होते हैं, सही डेडिकेटेड श्रोता कम ही होते हैं. एंड like my wife inspires me. This girl Kalyani, she assists me in my writings, and she inspires me. She inspires me, and इन दोनों से ज़्यादा the audience आप की इंस्पिरेशन मैं ज़्यादा लेता हूँ. थैंक यू. जय हिंद. जय हिंद की सेना. कोई क्वेश्चन आप पूछ सकते हैं मेरे से, एनी क्वेश्चंस रिलेटेड टू परमवीर चक्र और एनी अवार्ड, एनी क्वेश्चन, आई विल बी वेरी हैप्पी टू आंसर.
Thank you so much. Before me having to tell you to get the memento for Sir and for Ma'am, lovely session that was. I think it was the best finale we could have had for today's all the sessions that we had, Sir. And
I'm honored. I'm honored.
You are amazing, sir. Isn't he amazing, guys? I mean, the way he describes everything and the way all the stories he has written in his books. I think, sir, हम आपको सलाम करते हैं. Thank you so much for joining us today. आपने अपना कीमती वक्त निकाला हमारे लिए. And can we please pose for the picture, sir, ma'am? Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. Can we please do a big round of applause for the gentleman and lady? And to all of you who sat till last, thank you so much. It was an honor to have all of you here and to show that kind of dedication that you were the last audience and such dedicated ones like sir said.